Okay, I'm making this video specifically for you guys out of Bristol. Colin and Annalie have a lot to cover here. I'm doing this one specifically for you guys because you guys have a plum orchard that should mirror exactly what I've done here. First thing I'm going to show you guys is what I was talking about in removing dead tree material and some of the funguses you want to watch out for. Um, Now this is the second year that I've been working with this plum tree, and as you can see, I've excavated the root ball to where I can see some of the top roots, and that allows me access to the primary roots that are still alive so that I can go through and trim this new material. And this is a great example of some of the different decay that can happen, and that's what you want to remove with the brushes. You don't really want to sand the tree down. You want to remove that with a brush, especially on this live portion, and just a quick brush, light brushing with that brush, and a good dish soap will help that quite a bit. And that's something that can be done really quickly throughout the orchard with a bucket of soap and a brush, and you'll also be able to get rid of some of these guys. These little potato bugs can, they can wreak havoc. I'll show you a way to do that using pumice and crushed, shell kind of helps. There are several different ways you can approach that, but you'll want to approach that however you choose to. And this year I'm going to go ahead and cut off these portions of the trunk and hopefully get a good solid heel on the primary trunk structure there. Now this was, when I showed up, a 3-point tree, so all three of these had primary points. This one came all the way up to the same height that you see the others, and it's getting a little tall and out of shape, and it's been really plagued by different bugs and some fungus infections that you can see up there. So my first thing was, since it had 3 primaries, was I knew that I could get a solid one back out of it, so I kept them alive. The other 2, even though they're not really in good shape, although they look like they're doing well, I'll show you why they're not. But this one, I feel confident is going to be a really great branch structure for the rest of the life of this tree. And this is the second year, so I cut my primary back down, and I left about a foot of space just in case there is any mold that got in here or anything like that, that I allowed that to die back down. I'll go ahead and make an angled cut here and then heal that with an Elmer's glue or a tree sealant. I don't really like the black tree sealants because they can be a bit harsh on the tree. Elmer's glue has been proven and has worked really well, even if you have to reapply it quite often. And you can see some of the, right here, the healthy healing that's happened in the base edge there. But I'll go ahead and again cut that in an angle so it leaves this as a primary, and we get rid of this dead material so we don't have a problem with bugs, and then we'll again, like I said, cover that. Again, a lot to cover here. And then I will go ahead, and you can see where these cuts need to be addressed to remove that dead material. And then again, once you have the open wound there, seal it with Elmer's glue. And I am probably going to cut this back down to this point and grow this as a primary for this year, because that's a good healthy point below the unhealthy portions of the trunk and tree itself. They kind of raise from here, and when we get areas like this that are prone to infection, make great habitat for bugs that tend to decay the tree. And I've gone ahead and done my best to seal everything with an Elmer's glue and get a good heal patch like that on everything that was still alive. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but once you have the knowledge, you can plan it out and do it really quickly, especially on a larger orchard like your guys'. I considered keeping this as a secondary, and I may still, I mean, it depends on how this whole tree works out. You can see the tap that I set for syrup, and it's hopefully going to produce this year. We'll see. That's a new one for me, so I also saved this one as a possible primary. Again, you notice I leave myself with a lot of options, and I look at it in the tree's perspective as far as years are concerned, not necessarily my own. And let's see, what else can I show you? This branch, I intended to keep these two as primary and hopefully save this as a trunk structure. And that is why, if you see right here, I have taken care to seal all the edge of that, and then good Elmer's glue application quite frequently, or in bonsai it calls for a sulfur based paint. I don't really like that, being that I'm allergic to sulfur, so I again stick to Elmer's glue, which works pretty well. And then you can even, you know, get in some of these holes like here and just fill it with Elmer's glue, and that keeps bugs out pretty well. And I'll show you why I'm going to bring this tree down quite a bit, and that is because of a lot of